start with the first. Let's start with the National Association of Nigerian Students Development. Of course, you saw the video, or you may have seen the video, where a lady was doing her commentary talking about live ammunitions and gunshots at the Abuja Arena, Brigade Arena, where we are, or we're supposed to have the Nigerian Association, National Association of Nigerian Students election for a new, management or a new union that will be heading it. The NANS is an umbrella body for all tertiary institutions, whether university, polytechnics, colleges of education, maybe even technical and business schools also. It's an umbrella body where they have some representatives that relate with the government in the interest of the Nigerian students. So, there is this common knowledge that NAN's unfortunate incident is still on the front burner of issues. There are allegations that Sheyi Tinubu, the son of the president, may want to be in control, thereby sponsoring a man people see as too old, 48 years, to be in student unionism. Now, I want you to comment on this.
Okay, first, I want to say this is not new. Excuse me. This is not new. The NAS convention, at least I attended NAS convention 2000 and let's say 2002 in Benue, Makurdi. It was the same issue of gunshots, threats. This has been how the NAS convention always end up in crisis, gunshots, and the rest. And in most cases, just like you said, there is always a political undertone to it, especially when some of our politicians are trying to infiltrate into the NAS body, which is the National Association of Nigerian Students. So it has been like this for years, and the government have done nothing about it. And one of the reasons is because they also benefit from the whole rubbish that takes place in that. But I would just say that I think I want to suggest that the government rise up and come up with a structure that can help us coordinate the student union. Right? It's not like the student union are imitating the police. No, in fact, it's even the politicians are imitating the student union. Most of our senators and House of Rep members and governors today have once been a member of the student union government in different um, level. So this one is not different. This is how NACS organized. I'm not saying NAS, but there is always this constant infiltration of politicians into the NAS system, and it always creates commotion and crisis. I could remember far back over 20 years ago, I was in NAS convention in Benue, and we experienced this same saga, gunshots, guns everywhere. But it's a sad story. It's a sad one, and I want to hold the government responsible for this, because I feel that with this continuous occurrence, the government would have taken an initiative to make sure they create uh, a proper forum where the student can elect who becomes their president. Yeah, by maybe providing a proper location, making sure those locations are one, and we all have to put our hands on decks and see that this shenanigan that always occur during the NAS election. We have to make sure it stops. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. Thank you.
You say it is not the uh, student union that is copying the politicians, but the politicians are the ones that are copying the student union because NANS conventions have always been like that. But I can put it to you that before National Association of Nigerian Students, there was National Union of Nigerian Students way back in the early 80s, and it used to be very powerful conventions, and there used to be a lot of exchange of gunfire. But the gunfire in those days were intellectual gunfire, intellectual engagements, intellectual sagacity, show of capacity, where you had arguments for and against to protect the interest of the Nigerian students. So it has completely changed. And we know where the influence is coming from. If our political processes have gotten to the level where it becomes a do or die affair, I can assure you that the student union and the student politics is fast learning from it. I gave you an example, a very notable federal university. This one, it wasn't that I saw it. It's a school I know. Recently conducted an SUG election and had a male as an SUG president, and he released a public document stating that whilst he has congratulated all the other members who were elected and him be the president, he has decided to nominate, and he nominated close to 20-something names as special aides and completely tagged each of them. Special aid to on, special aid to the SUG president on, special aid. If I can get that material, I'll send it back to you. You will be surprised at what you can find. So when I say that the student unionism are fast learning, from the politicians, I know what I'm saying. If you look at a lot of people who have been involved in student unionism, especially to the level of NAS, one way or the other, up till tomorrow, are still very relevant in politics and in government. I take a very good example. Yesterday we had the edition we had, the conversations were about the build-up to the Edo elections. But the deputy governor was a former NANS president. The current deputy governor of Edo State was a former NANS president, And before then, under Goodluck Jonathan, the senior special assistant to the president, Goodluck's wife, Peace Jonathan, was a member of NANS. In fact, that one was my classmate. And I'm wondering, you are a senior special assistant on youth affairs at this age, because I know how old he is. Now, we are coming back to Moses Omonefe. And there are accusations that how can a 48-year-old man alleged to have graduated 20 years ago be brought forward to become NANS president? Is it that they do not check the veracity of the claims that these people may either be students or not? What modalities are they actually using to know that, okay, this candidate is qualified to even run for election if there are no evidences that they are still members or students of known tertiary institutions? Mr. Anilaju.
Well, the little I know about NANS is that if you want to run as the president of NANS, you are supposed to get a letter from your VC, a letter from your school, to show that you are actually a student, and they give your profile, But I think at some point there was this debate in NAS that it's not only the undergraduate that could be president of NAS. You could be doing your PhD, and but I don't know. I don't know if that still they still had to put that into their constitution. But I know at some point it was a debate that even if you are doing your postgraduate program, you could still run for the office of NAS president. But I know there's a screening exercise. So if the person of doing the screening exercise, he was able to sort out his screening properly. He was allowed to contest. Fine, all well and good. run for the office of the president of Student Association of Nigeria. But what I was just trying to make you understand, it's not on the SUG level. Like what I said, NANS, the Nigerian politics today is imitating NANS. No, I'm not talking about the SUG level. I'm talking about NANS because I've been there. I've been in the NANS committee in my unit then. I've been a special
NANS
assistant
is
to
the higher
my
level of student unionism. And student unionism
yes.
is culminated within the SUG government. So I know what I'm saying. I went through the walls of university twice. So majority of the people who eventually
So
contest in NANS are former SUG members or even the SUG president. So NANS and SUG cannot be
yeah.
separated really. It's like saying you do student
Well,
unionism within the university and then you now go out to contest representing your institution. That is what NANS is. So they can be
yes,
compared.
but yes, you are right. You're right. What I'm just trying to lay down is that you see the toggery that APC brought into this election system has always existed in us before we start seeing APC doing it. So
There
that's
you
what
go
I'm just trying
again.
to make you understand. And I'm just trying to make you understand that NAS has always been known for organizing this kind of riotous, or if there's any English like that,
Righteous is very
convention.
correct.
Yeah, convention. So you see students coming for NAS convention, you see them inside their buses and with a lot of guns. I've experienced a lot of NAS convention, so I know. I don't want to mention a particular school, but I will not exempt ECPOMA. ECPOMA those days used to come with buses full of guns, and they scare people away. The people who even came, delegates that came to vote cannot even vote, and before you know, they will announce somebody as the winner. Just like what we saw, what APC did during the last election. That has been a NAS system. So what I'm trying to say now is that it's not a shame to the federal government that they cannot come in and help the students build a proper process. But if you cannot give what you don't have, the APC-led government don't have a proper electoral processes. So I do not expect less
Okay.
from
Okay, there are
NAS.
allegations that even the imbroglio or the sudden impasse within the convention there are allegations that is sponsored even by the president's son, Sheyi Tinubu, who is trying to
Yes.
force a 48-year-old on the leadership of the NANS. I want you to comment to that too.
But it's not strange. Always I told you, anywhere you see uh, political unrest, political toggling, know that APC is behind PC. It's actually a product of APC. The APC-led government are always known for doing such toggling, political unrest, try to infiltrate, bribery and corruption, bribe the electoral process, because they don't have the power to win any credible election. So what they have power to do is to bring in toggling, bring in chaos, bring in commotion, and as soon as they create that commotion, they will go ahead and announce that their candidates have actually won the result. It's not strange. At least what do we expect? Everybody will want to have the president of NAS under their payroll or under their control. But I will always say, when you are doing the right thing, I don't think you need talks to win an election.